Hello everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday edition of Video Clips. And as usual, I'll start with a couple of announcements. First of all, we're still running our summer specials, and they are good until July 30th or 50 people, whichever comes first. One is our concierge weight loss program, using some of the fabulous new concepts that we've developed to help people who have persistent weight problems. The other one is the annual plan for those of you who love wellness form health courses and are looking for a way to do it much more economically. This annual pass gives you access to just about everything we offer through the healthcare company for one annual fee. And so if you're interested in those things, send me an email, and I guess I'll give you my email address in a minute. The other thing I want to mention, and we've got a packed class tonight, I'm doing a class on careers at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. It's an interactive teleconference call. I am going to record it, so if you're one of those people that does not listen to the video clips on Tuesday but might be listening to this after it's already happened and you want to listen to the recording, send me an email and we'll make arrangements for that to happen. If you're listening to this on Tuesday morning when it goes out and you want to participate in tonight's class, send me an email. We'll get you in, send you the slides and all that sort of thing. So if you're interested in a career using diet and lifestyle concepts and the things you hear me talking about on video clips, send an email to pampopper@msn.com and we will take care of it. You can also inquire about weight loss, annual pass, etc. All right, a couple topics, and the first one is I want to talk about exercise and rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is a chronic and systemic autoimmune disease that causes many problems, amongst them joint pain, diminished muscle strength, and reduced physical function. Another hallmark of rheumatoid arthritis is loss of muscle mass, or rheumatoid cachexia, and it's accelerated for RA patients, and all of this combined leads to decreased mobility, disability, reduced quality of life. Most patients with rheumatoid arthritis do get worse over time in spite of treatment with expensive drugs. And it doesn't have to be that way, by the way. Diet can have a profound impact, but we're going to talk about exercise today. Long-term and progressing damage to the joints is the norm, and patients have difficulty with exercise because of pain and deformity of the joints, and also because they're fatigued. And in addition to that, a lot of healthcare professionals will tell rheumatoid arthritis patients not to exercise because it will increase their fatigue. Consequently, health authorities in the United Kingdom estimate that over 2/3 of rheumatoid arthritis patients are physically inactive. But as it turns out, physical inactivity, just like it's a bad idea for everybody, it's a bad idea for rheumatoid arthritis patients. And we have evidence showing that outcomes improve a great deal when RA patients exercise. Recent meta-analysis showed that RA patients who engaged in land-based aerobic exercise at an intensity of between 50% and 90% of maximal heart rate had less, not more, fatigue. And the patients who were exercising were better off overall than the ones who were sedentary. The researchers concluded that land-based aerobic exercise could be helpful in treating fatigue for RA patients. I guess I'm still astounded at the number of times that what we find out is the truth is actually the opposite of what everybody knows to be true about a particular issue. Other studies confirm benefits such as improved cardiovascular health, increased muscle mass, reduced body fat, improved strength, improved physical function. Exercise did not, in these studies, and I have several citations in this article, result in further joint damage or exacerbate the disease in any way. And this is interesting. Higher intensity exercise was more effective for improving function and all the other things I talked about than lower intensity exercise. I have always felt that it is not a good idea to make patients who have conditions and diseases think that they're fragile little flowers that shouldn't exercise and don't stress yourself too much. And I think you teach people to be sick that way. And so this clearly shows RA patients can get in the gym and do everything I can do. Strength training is particularly effective for RA patients for improving muscle strength and function and reducing systematic inflammation, pain, and morning stiffness. Yoga has been shown to improve not only physical function but also mental state for RA patients. We do have a hot yoga studio in this building, and many people with rheumatoid arthritis over the years have taken hot yoga classes with us and reported that they felt much better, joint pain reduced, etc. Exercise is beneficial for all people, but for RA patients it can make the difference between disability and the opposite of being able to engage fully in all of life for as long as you're alive. RA patients, I think, should take classes and work out with people who know how to work with people who have limitations. In other words, if you have certain joints or deformed joints, you may need some assistance with that, but other than that, improved fitness, as it turns out, is a major key to improving health outcomes. So all you RA patients out there that are sitting at home thinking exercise is not for you, actually it's the opposite. Exercise is absolutely for you. Okay, I got an email from a concierge member about this issue and decided that because I get so many questions, I would just create a nice long article about it. It's about bone broth. It's the latest nutrition craze. Entire websites have been set up to promote it and to share recipes. There are even restaurants opening that specialize in serving it. And of course, experts, air quotes around that, are touting it as the cure for almost everything. Not surprisingly, some of the biggest promoters are the Weston Price Foundation and some of its disciples. The organization actually features a section called Broth is Beautiful, with, as usual, lots of unsubstantiated health claims, along with recipes. I'll come to the recipes in a minute. Health claims include that fish broth helps boys to grow into strong men, can make childbirth easier, and is a cure for fatigue. The website says that Americans need healthier fast food, and they suggest that brothels, B-R-O-T-H-A-L-S, in every town would be the answer to this need. Now, the best ingredients for making bone broth, according to the Weston Price Foundation, hooves, feet, and heads, because they are the most gelatinous part of the animal. Boy, that just sounds so yummy, right? Well, a new book by Weston Price disciples Sally Fallon and Kayla Daniel called Nourishing Broth provides even more folklore and is advertised as including the science behind broth's unique ingredients and how broth can heal pain and inflammation, improve digestion, reduce allergies, cure Crohn's disease, help people with eating disorders, and even improve outcomes for cancer patients. Well, people have been making broth for centuries. There's nothing new about that, but it seems only recently, and at the prompting of groups like the Weston Price Foundation, that it now has all these magical properties that we didn't know about before. Fallon and Daniel in their book claim that boiling animal and fish bones, skin, cartilage, tendons, and ligaments results in a gelatinous liquid that promotes the growth of collagen and builds strong bones. They also claim that one of the benefits of bone broth is it's a great source of two key amino acids, proline and glycine, which are important for maintaining collagen and healthy tissues. Well, if the disciples and experts at Weston Price always assume nobody's going to look any of this stuff up or research any further, but there are problems with these claims, one of which is that eating collagen doesn't build collagen or promote collagen growth. Collagen, like everything else we eat, is broken down into nutrient constituents, including amino acids, which are then reconstituted based on wherever the body thinks things are needed, whether it's collagen or tissues and other tissues and hormones and enzymes, etc. Furthermore, a whole lot of other nutrients are needed to make collagen, and they're more abundant in plants than animals. Last but not least, cysteine and proline are non-essential amino acids, which means the body can synthesize them and they don't need to come from food. So you certainly don't have to eat the broth of the heads, hooves, and feet of animals to get glycine and proline. Fallon and Daniel state that part of the value of bone broth is it's made at home from scratch. Homemade broth is better than store-bought, and that food prepared at home is always better than food prepared by somebody else or eating out. I agree with that. I don't think many of us would disagree with that, but I think there are a whole lot healthier and safer things to make at home than broth from the heads of dead animals. And speaking of safety, it is an issue with bone broth. While the nutrient content of bone broth varies, it can be quite high in both fat and protein from animal sources. So I noodled around online. I was looking at different recipes. On some of them, protein was as much as 16 to 20 grams per serving, fat content as much as 50%. I'm not going to regurgitate this here, but I mean, we have materials online with hundreds, if not thousands, of references on what happens to people who eat a diet that's high in animal fat and protein. It's just plain not a good idea. A significantly bigger concern is the potential for lead contamination as a result of consuming bone broth. Animal bones have been shown to contain high quantities of lead, and broths made from the bones have higher concentrations of lead than the water from which the broth was actually made. The deleterious effects of excess lead exposure are well known. I don't think anybody disagrees with that, which provides another reason to avoid bone broth. So here's what I think. I think we should hope that bone broth, like a lot of nutritional fads and products that claim to be cures for everything, will have a short life, and we'll be on to some other ridiculous thing to talk about. Well, that's all for today. As usual, pass this on to anybody who you think might enjoy watching it, and I will be back to you on Thursday with more news.